Hi, my name is Peter Moreno, and I'm making this video to explain how to do self-empathy and how self-empathy works using nonviolent communication or the language of life. So, when we speak about self-empathy, is applying the basic principles of nonviolent communication to oneself. So, what are these basic principles? Very quickly, we have the first step, the distinction between evaluation and observations. Then we want to distinguish which emotions we have or feelings that we experience when this situation happens. And then we want to see what is underneath or behind the emotions, which is human needs. And we say in nonviolent communication that needs are kind of a life force that mobilize us, and we really want to do things to meet and kind of embrace our needs. And when our needs are being met, we experience expansive emotions like happiness, joy, peace, relaxation, stillness, connection, mutuality, in cooperation with others. And when our needs are not being met, then we experience emotions that are more difficult to process, more painful, like anger or sadness or frustration or shame or yeah, distress, kind of inner conflict about the situation because some of our needs are not being met. And then the last step is we call it kind of strategies or requests that we can make about the situation. And we try to make requests or strategies that are really connected to our needs, that can only acknowledge our emotions and our observations, but we really try to make attempts to make requests to meet our own and the other people need. Now, when we're making self-empathy, we're really trying to focus on oneself. So how can I embrace my emotional state? How can I acknowledge my emotions and experience the life force behind my emotions in a way that get me back to my needs, and from there make request eventually to myself if I'm working only on me, or sometimes formulate a request to someone else. Now, I want to show you this is in a personal example because I always believe that this is the most powerful way to see it. And for example, in my situation, I could have a situation in which I see someone very close to me behaving in certain ways that I kind of don't like, and therefore I can become judgmental and have criticism about them. I can feel anxious or stressed, and I can maybe, if I go deep inside me, try to see, okay, what do I need? Oh, yeah, I really need understanding and connection with this person. Even before trying to ask the person to change, when I'm giving myself some empathy, I will always boil down to I want to understand, I want to connect, I want to kind of feel what is inside me in a way that move me away from judgments or evaluations and really experience the need behind all of that. And then if I would like to make a request to myself, most of the time when you give self-empathy, it's really a request to slow down, to really experience your emotions and to really discover what are the needs behind. And when you are able to kind of make this request to yourself, like I want to experience self-empathy, I really want to kind of slow down and be with myself, and you do this exercise, you will be able to notice that maybe what you thought you wanted in the reactive state of mind when I am projecting, making evaluations, judgment, or criticism is very different than what I will really want when I am connected to a need for respect or a vulnerable need for connection or for understanding or for support or help. So, doing this process of self-empathy requires from you to take one particular case of your life where you feel distress, can be from the business context in your work or personal life, and say, okay, what is this person doing that I can identify? So, for example, the person is, I don't know, not listening to you. You are in a meeting and the person is not listening, not paying attention to what you say. It's not acknowledging what you are saying. And then you will see, oh yeah, this person is not listening, doesn't pay attention, doesn't acknowledge. And you need to see that all of that are kind of evaluations that you're making. If you will just make an observation, you will say something like, ah, When I say that I want to finish this task today, the person is answering to me that is busy with other things. So that's something concrete. The person might be answering, I'm busy with other things now. And this is reality. That's what is happening. That's what the person is saying. And then you need to notice that on this experience, you're putting the label, doesn't listen to me, doesn't want to cooperate, doesn't want to support. So that's the first step. And then you will say, okay, what is happening is that I make a request for something to be done, and the person is saying that cannot do it because the person is busy. And then you leave a bit your head, your mind behind, and you say, okay, how do I feel in my body about it? I feel anger or stress or frustration. And you need to stay with that emotion, breathing, inhale and exhale, and really let this emotion go through your body. Trying to give yourself empathy will mean, in this case, in this step, is to be able to stay with the emotion. In the first step is to give yourself empathy. In the first step of nonviolent communication is to be able to understand that it's difficult to see the distinction between evaluations and observations, and being able to stay with observations as much as you can. In the second step, you want to stay with your emotions. And then in the third step, you would like to maybe have the list of human needs and discover, okay, I'm feeling stressed. So what is the need behind? What is the need that is for me so important that I'm not experiencing with this person? And maybe will be listening, connection, understanding. And when you get to a need, the idea will be to imagine, like, how will it be to enjoy this need with this person? That the person listens, that I am listening to myself, that the person is connected to me and to the other person, and both of us actually. And then you try to kind of feel that in you, and then you will get to the energy of the need. And that's what we call needs awareness in nonviolent communication. And from there, you will say, okay, I want to make a connection, a request to myself. So what do I do about this? After observations, emotions, needs, what do I do about it? And then when you are really connected to the needs, maybe you will notice that what you really want, maybe is to be more clear in the communication with the other, to be more precise on what you are requesting, what you're saying. Or maybe you will have another request could be, yeah, if this person is not able to do it, can I find other ways to get what I need to be done, for example? So this is kind of you're giving self-empathy for you to be able to communicate to another person. There's another dimension of self-empathy, which is not thinking about the other and just embracing yourself. Like, imagine, for example, you're in a situation where the other person is not there anymore, like a breakup, or the person doesn't want to communicate, or you just want to embrace yourself. What we do in that case is we want to go from what happens to how we feel about it, to what our needs behind. And then when we are experiencing the need, we want to go deeper and deeper. We want to acknowledge that a need is a strategy to make another need. So, for example, in the previous example is, I really needed some listening, understanding, and connection with this person. And I will say, okay, listening. How will I feel if I am listened by this person? How maybe I will feel that I matter. So my need to matter comes into place. And if I matter, what happens then? I will feel that I exist, that I can be acknowledged, that I am important. Okay. So then you go deeper, like, if I am acknowledged and I feel I am important, what needs get met? Wow, I feel connected to life. I feel like I can contribute, that I can contribute to life and we can do things together. And so that's what you need when you do, that's what you do when you do it on your own self-empathy. You try to go deeper and deeper into your emotions and your needs. And the request you're making to yourself is, I want to connect deeper to myself. I want to connect deeper to myself. And then you will discover as you do this that it becomes quite interesting to get to know yourself more and more. And as I said in the beginning, the idea of self-empathy and nonviolent communication is really to embrace your experience, not to judge, not to criticize, not to blame, not to feel guilty about it, not to put labels, but to really embrace, how are you feeling, what are the needs, and go deeper into your needs. And you will notice that as you go deeper into your needs, you will be having different emotions, sadness, anger, And then one moment when you are into more vulnerable needs, you will start experiencing more vulnerable feelings like stillness, peace, a sense of relief, a sense of self-love and care for yourself. And from that awareness, you will discover that it's much easier to go in life and do something about it to change your situation. So that's what I wanted to share about self-empathy on using nonviolent communication, these 4 basic steps: observations, emotions, needs, and strategies or requests, and how can you apply them to yourself. So I hope this video will be useful to you, and yes, let us know in the training or give us a comment in the video so to see how you receive this. Thank you, and we stay in touch. Bye-bye.